you.
Things happen.
After a great memory.
Yeah.
It's not that. That's yeah.
Okay, so Valiant, I don't know who watched it or didn't. They're running Classic Dive without Tracer. So that's my Genji. Win conditions. What are the win conditions?
Anyone?
Nanoblade, EMP bomb, EMP, EMP and Nanoblade most of the time.
Yeah. The biggest combo known in the entire Overwatch League and Tier 1 scene, Tier 2 scene is basically the EMP Nanoblade combo. You basically farm for that and then you win the fight no matter what.
Yeah.
That is the logic.
Unless you fuck it up somehow.
No. If you get the first point, it's really hard to get the either way, so it's pretty worth it.
No. Yeah. This is just a typical like high tier strategy because it will work 100% of the time. Unless your players are shit, but this is Overwatch League, so...
Canada once fucked it up, I remember that.
It
can happen.
In Overwatch Leagues.
It can happen, yeah. Like, for example, Dallas Fuel versus Shock was a fucking disaster as well.
They can play.
Yeah. Anyway, so you know the winning conditions. Who are they gonna dive? What is the dive target here?
Anna
or McCree.
Okay. So you have the basics of dive down. Communication, what is the basics? You've had a few days. 6 steps.
Scouting.
Scouting.
They are scouting, they have information, they are shooting, they know what they're playing. Next.
Then identify the lowest dude in their comp, like in this case
Target.
Ana.
The diveable target.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Triana.
Diveable targets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Pathing to the target.
Pathing,
Like
yeah.
positions. Pathing to the
Setting
positions. Yeah, like setting up. Yeah, that's it.
Setting up, yeah.
Setting up.
We're not gonna path to the target because then you'll be
Yeah,
feeding.
I mean, I meant path to the places to set up. I
Yeah,
was about
okay.
to say that.
Next.
Okay, 5. Call the target, I guess.
Call the
I
target.
think that's it.
So
That's all
we're in
now.
position and we're gonna call the target, okay?
Make sure everybody's in position.
Okay.
After that, if everybody says yes, yes, you
Engage.
start the engage.
Soft dive. To bait cooldowns.
Why would you want to soft dive against that?
And how can we soft dive? We walk through the building and then
Yeah,
jump
Park.
out.
We're going through a choke.
There's a few options here, actually. When you play ball here, one of the win conditions. No.
When
Oh,
you
but
play
both
ball,
actually.
you can boop them down. And
Yeah,
That's it. Basically, when you play ball, you can just literally hook from here and then be like yeet. But the only difference, yeah, you can. The only difference is that the Ana and the McCree can stop you.
Yeah, that's especially.
Where is Cree? Oh, there he is.
Oh, Lucio.
Nah, but Lucio's will most likely like just be airlining here and be like, "Hi, I'm Lucio. I do
Why is
things."
Lucio there, if I can ask?
Scouting. He sees this information. Yeah.
It's the same
Okay.
thing Felix we saw in Paris game.
Yeah, okay, true with the TP, yeah.
So that is an option. Second option is pressuring point, which means you want to dive in on a rotation, which means the ball's on point, doesn't really see a lot. He just has third person view and he can probably see like this area. And then he needs the rest of the team to like to follow up, okay, what are we gonna do? Because if they just hold position, it means free ticks, but that's not what's gonna happen.
In the heavy position, it's easy because.
So
So what do you do?
as their team.
No, as when you're playing ball, because you mostly play ball.
Any ball, well, the ball, as you said, would take attention on the
Yeah,
point.
we're now in this scenario. This is the, I've drawn it out.
We will dive the rotation.
Dive the rotation. Okay, so they decide to make a full rotation for whatever reason, just because, and they're gonna do it from here by dropping down and then going to the point. What do you do?
Where does Ana stay?
Yeah,
She goes with them.
Drop.
She goes with them. Because if she stays, she's an idiot.
At the
Yeah.
moment they drop down, that's like a huge kill zone.
Yeah, because ball can instantly come there also.
Yeah, but ball is the only one.
Oh yeah, we're playing back
But
there.
Monkey with speed could actually get there.
To
Probably.
be fair, we could take high ground control after if we force it.
That's it. That's it. High ground control. Why would you kill zone that when your team is so
Yeah.
split up? You don't even have your
Yeah,
DPS set up yet.
Yeah, true. And we can dive from there to.
That is a key problem that you have, Felix. It starts with you. Because your first instinct is, ooh, kill zone. Me dive here. Well, that's not a good idea. Because your team is not there. And you do think, well, with speed, he can probably follow up Nut. What about your DPS?
It's 3, yeah.
What about the rest of your team? There are more people than just your Winston. So there you go. Identify this problem, Felix. You need to work on it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
fuck my note.
So normally you would just take the high ground here, you'd set up here and be like, next move, next rotation, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So you do know the basics, you just have to learn to execute. Anyway, they're playing Winston DPS, so that means different. That means they're gonna go in. It is important that everyone stays together. You don't feed. Twilight is a bit in the back because, you know, Twilight wants to poke. What's gonna happen? For the people that haven't seen it.
Oh, okay, I've seen it.
Okay, I saw it.
I haven't seen it, so I think they maybe a hard dive on top while Stitch tries to go in the back staircase. So Ana is probably gonna run inside the staircase when they dive high ground, and they just can fuck the Ana in the staircase.
Okay. Who thinks that's a good idea?
Mm,
No.
No.
I
I think the value of Sombra doesn't come from that.
Okay.
Yeah, Sombra is not a boss damage. She's
So what
a
must I do?
utility. She just supports.
So Zap, what
it's-
would you do? You're the Sombra. Let's
I
see.
would stand
No,
it.
no, 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 no. Only the people that haven't seen it. I've made
Has Zap
Septuna
seen
watch
it?
this. I've made him watch
Yeah,
this.
I watched it yesterday. No, you
sorry,
didn't.
So, God,
I
can you
don't
just
understand
mute
he doesn't
yourself?
Watch these videos, so I was
Yeah.
surprised.
God, just mute yourself.
Question isn't even if like the
I asked him what to watch to learn.
Let Raphael finish. It's up to know.
even if like we've just kill Ana and fail the entire dive, we have faster spawns and they have no Ana,
Okay.
so they have to retreat and we gain free high ground again.
What counters? What counters dive?
May
No.
And
What
McCree.
comp counters dive?
brawl
What are they playing?
brawl.
So you think that just because you can hard initiate on an Ana, you are not running into a very dangerous situation?
I think, but I thought like it's better trade-off to just kill the Ana and then set up again and go again when they don't have a main healer.
Yeah. But what would it cost if we were to hard dive an Ana here?
A lot of ult charge for the enemies.
Yeah, but what else? Do they not have pillars? 3 of them?
They do.
So even killing that Ana is gonna be hard.
Yeah, okay.
So going for the Ana in this scenario is a very, very risky play. Do you understand why?
Yeah, because they can keep her alive very well and then we just feed ult charge.
Yeah. All Diva has to do is matrix the Ana, and then only Winston can damage an Ana, and that's not enough.
Yeah, and she can nade herself and then heal boost and yes.
Yep. You want to say something, Holly?
Do you soft dive the Rhine? Like, do you just jump on the edge of the high ground and then drop down when you get low
Okay.
to try and poke for ult charge?
What heroes are you playing?
You're playing Winston Diva,
Yeah, but what DPS?
Sombra Genji,
Okay, what do those 2 heroes need for them to get value?
ults.
Yeah, but that's not everything those 2 heroes do.
Sombra needs to not have have the attention somewhere else so that she can get a hack off without getting interrupted.
Okay.
Genji, I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. Anyone else?
Genji dies with them.
Anyone else that hasn't seen this match?
Me.
Okay. Then you're last. Go on.
So obviously you've got your dive DPS and you've got
Yeah.
your Sombra. So your Sombra would want to go try use a scouting to get the information from them.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you put pressure on them, they would hover to rotate. If she hacks a target while they rotate, it creates a diveable target, allowing you to hard engage.
What did we just say about hard engaging?
But okay, but then having the Sombra create a hack target on the Mei, the Ana, the Diva would create that to be winnable because they wouldn't be able to as do it, but they could then also utilize the disruption of the hack to allow them to soft dive.
That's better. Why is that better?
Soft diving is better against Brawl.
And why is it better against Brawl?
Because they have abilities to like retreat again.
Can they chase after you when you're playing dive?
No, you can jump out with like monkey jump diva. All the stuff you wouldn't have if you like hard engaged.
Yeah. Because don't forget, they have a Kree, they have a Mei, they have Ana, they have sleep, they have freeze, they have stuns, they have walls, they have boops.
Basically everything you don't want.
It's very good to identify this problem, because what Gus first suggested is basically suicide. And what Raphael, do you now understand why your Ana idea was not a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. We'll just see what they do, because after all, they're the pros. So they're setting up. Genji farms his ult charge, because that's what Genji does. They're splitting. This is very important, they're splitting. Why are they splitting?
Crossfire.
Okay.
They like so they're gonna look at Genji on the left side while Diva goes to the staircase so she can poke from behind, and then they have to turn and don't know where to exactly look.
This is the
And,
current
like,
setup.
when Ryan turns to shield the how's it called, the door, then Ana and Genji get free charge. When Ryan doesn't shield, then the Diva gets ult charge. Yeah.
Okay. Gabas, you. Let's hear your thoughts.
Well, they set up like this because firstly, you're taking attention to 3 different angles. If we're going to speak from Valiant side, you've got Diva on your left, you've got the DPS on your right, and your tanks are on main. So you have to focus on 3 different angles, which means their attention is slightly split, although they might be stacked. Diva can push up, which will cause you could either have them try use sleep, Maywall, or anything, so CDs would be used, allowing less peel for their DPS, or anything from a dive to go in. Sombra would be looking for the rotation to capitalize with a hack target behind if they decide to retreat. Genji can also punish, and Winston could dive that as well, so would Diva. So they're trying to force them to rotate to capitalize the rotation.
Okay. Last one.
Can I just ask about a different thingy, or do you want to do this first?
You can go ahead if you want.
Does the Diva set up their basic because the distance from the main choke to the high ground is too long for the Diva to be able to matrix the monkey?
Yeah. Also for feeding.
Yeah.
Leave a big
Yes,
target.
Yeah.
Do not like being in open areas.
Mhm.
But it has a danger. It has a danger.
Mhm.
Just gonna draw that. Yeet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are risks involved.
But
Yeah.
Azur,
Yeah.
on Anubis, they actually just
I'm
made
not
fish
asking
be-
Anubis. We're only talking about this. Let's not go off topic. No, but we're not going off topic.
Okay.
Focus one step at a time.
Yeah. What? I'm like, what? Who else didn't see it was Gut, Raphael, and Holly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Holly, what are your thoughts? Because this is a DPS setup. Obviously, we won't be playing Sombra Genji, but...
Well, they're splitting focus, which means that they're less likely to. All of them are less likely to get picked because there's no like controlled fire. It also means that Stitch is up more easily because he's not the whole team is in one place, so they don't. It's less likely that he outed while he's doing his rotation. But it mostly means that no one will get poked out before they can set up to dive somebody. So everyone's able to be in a comfortable, like a safe position before diving.
Okay, so I'm hearing a few right things there. But the most obvious one is not being mentioned right away.
Oh.
What is the first thing you want to do before you set up dive?
Identify the target.
No, not like that.
Scout.
Not like that. Before you dive,
Which one? Set up.
Talk to
set up. There it is. Set up your damn DPS.
What we didn't do on purpose.
What we do is our DPS are here, and so we go in there. But at the higher level, the DPS are already in a very good position to actually join whatever is going to happen, and the tanks are paying way back. Because normally what happens is tank wants to take space, and the tanks will be like, okay, I want this space, so my DPS can do something, but that's not what you want to do. You're playing dive. So think dive. The rest, mostly correct. Yeah, you're playing split, more focus on other targets, so more survivability, and mostly it's just for setting up. Like, this needs to be very important for everyone. Like, set up. No more messing around. Anyway, setup is done. Stormer goes through. They get scouted. But yeah, good luck not getting scouted against Overwatch League players. There you go. Not even once did the DPS have to move because they were in position the entire time.
West again, Jiwa. No, did he dash?
No, he's in a statue. He's gonna be a bit passive before he goes. He's here.
Okay.
Lucia's here. Anna's there. Thanks are
Anna.
here. Yeah.
What if Stitch goes around from the inside to where he's gonna position next? Wouldn't that be a safer option?
It could have been, but when Diva went there, this was still an easy scoutable area. So either way, Stitch couldn't really do much unless he got lucky by going through.
Okay.
It's a very hard rotation to make to get a Sombra through when there's like a Diva hard focusing wherever the fuck you're gonna pop up.
Okay.
Okay, so dive happened. Now what?
Important piece.
The tank's kind of
Okay.
like the swap.
Raphael, let's start with you.
Okay, so they anti-nade. I can see that, and
Yeah.
Diva has no more matrix because she DM'd Stitch.
Very good.
So the Diva, McCree, Anna, and Lucius probably gonna get antied, and the tanks probably gonna go for like their tanks to disrupt them, while the DPS go for their supports.
Why would they get emptied?
Because it has spread. And she like
This is your spread?
no, but yeah, okay, maybe they don't get anti, then they just focused on the McCree or the Diva.
Okay. So you're still thinking hard dive here. Why? Didn't we just discuss this?
Yeah, but Monkey jumped in and that's a hard dive, right?
Yeah, but he can still drop down.
Yeah, then they gonna anti-nade and force them to rotate because they anti-naded and then dive on them.
Okay.
Or like pick up the guys who drop.
Let's get the tanks involved. What can tanks do here? Gaz and Felix.
Leave.
They can cleave.
Cleave, yeah.
They basically just create disruption and take a lot of
Yeah.
attention when they jump in.
Okay, very good. And what does that allow?
The DPS to do what DPS needs to do.
Okay. So what's gonna happen?
I think Axel is gonna dash in after the anti-nade lands. Stitch, I'm not sure, might even try to get an hack in after that. Because the McRae won't be able to be peeling, like looking at him after that.
Yeah, very good. And what about Lucio?
I got no clue. I'm probably going.
Okay, good buster. What about Lucio?
Both them down.
Good buster.
Lucio is to create the rotation, and then you can then peel for your tanks as well.
Yeah, very important. Because if we drop down, what is nice to have?
Space, so you'd
Peel.
boop them away to rotate and speed.
There you go. Clear to everyone?
Yes.
Good. Huge pick though from the Nate, but yeah.
China's gonna beat it.
Janu is feeding, yeah. The problem here is that they're trying to force a hard dive here. But Janu and Lucio are backing off, and well, Fisher kind of has like, okay, this is enough. So, summarize it once again, this is not a hard dive. The value came from Twilight.
So what do you call this? A soft dive?
This is mostly a soft dive, yeah. It got the value because of ability usage. Hard dive is when you're hard committing. They did not commit. They are backing out, they have retreat routes. They just took space. And because KSP died, Valiant is in a very bad position.
Kree is kind of a win condition with that comp too.
Yeah. And also, Valiant is not that good. Let's get that real here.
Come on, man.
KSP is good.
Jejana is still feeding for some reason.
He's been really
Yes.
good.
Come on, you can replace him.
Either way, right away, what comes out? Point pressure. So, we go from soft dive to getting value to point pressure.
One question.
Yep.
What if the nade wouldn't have hit anyone and they could have just like stayed on high
Next
ground?
They were still gonna go for point pressure.
Okay.
Like, the plan doesn't change. They were just looking for value with a soft dive. They got value, which is nice, because for whatever reason, KSP doesn't know how to position. And after that, they just go for point pressure and they just wait for another reaction.
Okay.
Because right now they're up one, they don't need to force anything. It's just,
Yeah,
for whatever reason,
vibe.
Jejana has become the biggest feeder in Overwatch League.
That's almost weird how much, like,
Nah, but this shouldn't have happened. Like, let's get this real. He could have backed out with his Winston.
I'm
Like,
saying, like, there is so, like there's like 5-7 seconds for him to back.
nah. So that is just a mistake on Jana's side. Either way, point pressure has to happen. We want those sticks. And they're obviously going to go for Jejana because they are like, even if we are not the best in Overwatch League, we're still Overwatch League players. So Jejana gets demacked. Does that balance things out?
Not really. I don't think so.
No, not that much.
Not that much. How can the Valiant still win this fight?
I think yes.
Play slow.
Okay, Raphael thinks yes. Why?
Because McCree's gonna respawn in a second and then he comes back from main, so they have an off angle on the point. Yeah, I mean it's a long way, but still.
Yeah.
They just have to touch the point with May and maybe Lucio touch the point, and then McCree comes back and they have an off angle and just can like win the fight because Janu won't be back in this time.
It's
Okay.
on 2 CP, so couldn't they just give 2 ticks and come in with 6?
They could, yeah.
It's not
They could.
CP.
But they're not in a position.
Well,
they
it's
want
not.
to
It's
do
on
that.
CP. Yeah, but
You can
It's a
also
control
dive
point.
McCree if he's
Yeah.
alone.
yeah, but they didn't have to commit on Baby Diva.
No, they did not have to. That's like a good job, but now they should probably go back.
Okay, I didn't know they commit on Baby Diva, but yes.
Yeah, that's just expectations from your own side, Raphael. Something wrong with that. How about you, Harley? What do you think?
I think, I mean, Valiant would need to probably back off now that they've got the DMAC. I think they need to heal before they try to contest point. But they could probably just play slow on and like do like little tiptoes on point until McCree gets back. They have that sort of time and tankiness versus the dive, I think.
Okay, so knowing the Brawl beats dive, Titans still decide to run dive here. They went for the soft dive. They've been playing it correctly so far. You think they don't have backup plans for their comp? Jejanu Fats, sure, whatever.
Right, but
That doesn't mean they get the point, right? Like, yeah, they can go back, but then Valiant is 6 again. And then they have to do like just the same again, soft dice, force to rotate, and then pressure the point again.
Okay.
And maybe they get every time a tick, and then they got it. Oh,
What about you, Gutbuster? You haven't seen this, so use that brain of yours.
No, I would just want to know if Monkey just dropped down. He didn't use the CD. He didn't use the shift to go where the Diva is. Am I
Nope.
right? I just want to confirm that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's still got a shift out. Alright, if they've got their shift, they've got that, and judging by their health bars, and knowing that there's going to be a hack coming in if they engage, they should back off of this high ground, group up, because it would not allow the dive to get advantage of them splitting, especially that Anna's the healer there, and Lucio's probably used amp. So they're lacking on abilities or engage pressure, so I would back out, heal up my team, and then either amp into a fight, because you're brawl, and if they're sitting on point, but then they've got no targets to stay on point. So the only focus here would be an honor if you go through, because everyone else would jump out or move around or kite you. So I would agree with Raf saying you kind of stall till your McCree comes back in. Being greedy with abilities maybe, like a nade to see if Diva could follow up or micro missiles, but not more than that. I wouldn't be risky with it. Like,
Okay.
I think McGravy's in a shit position.
Let's see what they actually do then.
Oh.
Nani? What the fuck?
It's a cap and retreat here.
This is an insane shield gig.
Nah, he's turning around to get back. Give that to him. So a wall came out. They're retreating. How would you clean this up and dive?
What did you just say?
How
How
would
would
you
you-
clean this up as dive?
You can't go inside
Yes.
because that'd be suicide.
You
Mhm.
keep pushing point.
There you go.
And you
Yeah.
and you can get the McCree that comes back from main.
And
Yeah.
on this map, if you get point control, it's okay if you can, because you can kind of set up for dive there, like soft engage.
Why is Janu in the best spot possible right now?
Because no one can touch him and he gets a lot of ult charge and then can remake and sits on top and just can spray the entrance where they need to come out to contest the point.
Yeah. Can't Fisher do the same?
Ish can.
No, because long range.
But Janu would be a easy killable target in a fight if it had to break out with no escape. So by
Mhm.
keeping on the high ground,
Yeah.
Brawl has to be close range to slap, whereas he's got the high ground to at least rotate with.
That's
so
better.
he'll be
Also, as a
fine if
crossfire
he
and being
decides to
annoying.
rotate.
Nah, Janu doesn't have that much damage to call this a crossfire.
Yeah,
come on.
he's more in a safe position, safer than he would be on point if they had to rotate to point.
Anyway,
Respect the baby diva pistol.
Bruh.
Did Haxel just...
How
How did they
so?
got the kill?
Did
Oh,
Haxel
Rainer
do
got
something?
antied.
I got anti. Okay,
He was one in got antied, so he
okay.
committed.
Because he's a bad pagan turned around.
so let's do this one more time.
Okay. One more.
Normal speed.
Set up. Soft engage.
So fast.
I feel like that Ryan literally entered by not even
Yeah,
bothering
I'm
to
saying-
turn around.
Gig seems to have...
Gig not covering the Anna is pretty fucking bad.
Electric's
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah,
Gravy also could have DM'd.
like I said,
If you-
Change press shift.
this is Valiant, man. They're just bad.
But now Titans is being greedy about going.
Oh, can just play it out there.
No, but it is 6v4 or something.
Yeah.
No.
And Case Bagels and Tracer.
There's still people on point.
Ults are coming up.
Do you see how not everyone goes to them though? That's what I wanted to highlight. From our team, we would have had our whole team chasing them.
Now,
Whereas we had 2 people chase them out and cap point being the focus here. And not
point
more
pressure
chasing for
never needs to
kills.
break, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's something I can notice with Krypton. We'd go chase the kills until they all die rather than
Mhm.
objective.
The most important part is here is just point pressure. How do you keep point pressure?
To be fair, the only reason why Fisher chased was because he had ulti ready.
No, his ult literally just came up.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he was certain he would have an escape.
Yeah, but that will be hard inting against the fucking Mei and Diva. He's not that stupid, it's Fisher. Fisher went in because they decided to commit on Orion and his abilities were coming up. So Genji was with him, he had a DM with him. and that gave him an opportunity to at least like put pressure here. Valiant decided to back up, so this space is his, and he decided to go all the way over here so that he wouldn't have too much pressure on him. And then he returned. That is quite normal for a main tank to do. It's just taking pressure, taking angles. In the end, you're playing dive. You're playing to dive. And here he dives again because, you know, this guy.
He's kinda good though.
Missing sleep dots.
Breath.
From here, with a monkey that is coming out of nowhere, forgivable.
Okay.
But he does nano May.
May.
Anyway, it's not much left to tell you because Valiant just basically fucks up after this.
It was terrific to watch.
It's just, you guys understand, right? The concept of how dive works. High ground control, point pressure, all of these things I don't see with you guys. Even if you have ball.
Question: why don't we play like Monkey Diva, for example?
Because you have a ball one trick in your team.
Come on, man.
But there is a workshop for Winston coming this week for all the tanks, and then Felix will start playing a bit more different heroes.
Okay.
With regards to obviously being payload, right?
Mhm.
We seem to, as Krypton, give a lot of space when it comes to payload.
I know.
Being dive, wouldn't you want to harass the payload a little bit more? Being a focus of a kill zone, where they are obviously being forced to either group up on payload or have.
I mean when we're defending.
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now this is offense.
Yeah, no, defending.
Yeah. Defense. Think about the maps.
Numbani, for instance.
No, like all maps. I don't think we're gonna play dive on defense anymore. Except for Numbani first point, for example. Like high grounds, you'll be using it so you can drop down. But everything that favors something else, you will be stop playing dive. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just clear this out because Valiant sucks. That's it. Now to the one I actually wanted to discuss.
Oh yeah.
I just watched it from Jane.
Gladiators. Basic Audi.
Jane? I don't watch that guy.
Facebook.
Imagine going on Facebook gaming.
No, in YouTube they posted.
I don't even have him subscribed anymore. He can piss off. Anyway.
I saw that one.
They're gonna dive again.
Yep.
So which league has everyone seen this game?
Yes.
Actually, I'm not sure if I saw this. Hey, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
saw this and yeah.
Get,
I watched
we watched it together, man.
Yeah,
Come
I was
on, man.
thinking about the comms, but then I
I watched
Anyway.
it 3 times.
Anyway. Who hasn't seen it?
So,
Me.
Raphael?
Holly?
I haven't seen it.
I
Ali?
haven't seen it.
Pineapple and... Gabas, have you seen
I
it?
haven't. No.
You guys are fucking trash.
Oh wait, no, I'm lying. I saw this one.
Did you see that
And
monkey jump?
Pepega. I
That monkey
saw
jump was
it.
insane.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Move on. Dive. Dive on attack.
Wait.
You guys are absolute dog shit at this, so I'm gonna break it down step by step.
Shot caller
Thanks,
should
man.
be taking notes, and everyone's role should be identifying what it is.
Because unlike Valiant, Gladiators doesn't suck.
There's some in supply tracer. Like, is it in zero pole?
Yo, he's an DPS player in Overwatch League. I expect
Is that
he
what you
is-
want?
It's not a zero pool. He never plays DPS.
He's a Zarya main.
I think Semensuno's Tracer.
That's beside the point. Let's focus, because this is an interesting kind of setup.
Okay, Reaper, Genji.
First things first. Let's go back a bit. First things first. They don't do the hard scout because fuck that. They're Overwatch League players, they kind of know the meta, they kind of know what to expect there. In OD you'll still be scouting because some people do weird shit.
Like us.
Yeah, sure.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
First thing, normal rollouts. Nothing special. They have the heroes they want. What are they gonna do? 4 people didn't see this, so let's start with Guts. What are they gonna do?
Well, obviously, going to gain information of positioning, setup. Once you've set up, find what you want to do. The Reaper's obviously a standstill target, so he would need to find a TP route, I'd presume, away from the Brawl. So, because obviously their range damage isn't as great, because they're running a Brawl heavy comp. So Reaper's got a bit of space to TP and maneuver. They've got double barrier, so that means Honor's nade is completely valuable. There's no diva to eat it, so they can always try put Honor on a high ground to get value.
That's an interesting way to call shields. It's a barrier. Why are you calling shields barrier?
He lives in 19.
Oh, that's what we used to call it in South Africa. Sorry, fine. I'll call it barrier. I'll change my language. Sorry.
Very good. Barriers are what Winston has,
Sure.
like bubble.
No. So what? So
Anything to add to that from other people?
It's
Well, I've
basically
seen-
the same as the last one. You just want to have people set up in like their own in like proper split places. It's just Reaper instead of Sombra means you want to be on like probably a high ground behind or something like that.
Okay, very good.
So like I would TP Reaper on the back like ledge above the point. Then we can.
Not what I'm
like-
asking. I'm asking if you have anything to add to what Guster said.
Oh yeah.
We're still
then,
breaking things down.
No, then
Okay.
not.
Pineapple.
Ew.
Anything to add?
No.
First thing to do, Diva Scout. You understand that, Gas?
Yes, scout.
Scout is good. Why is that position good?
Because it's kind of hard to hit there and you can see everything.
And you can drop down and they can't wall you, like on the window they just can wall behind her,
Mhm.
then she's kinda fucked.
Okay, now you have this information. What are they gonna do?
Take space.
Sure, that's like
You can, no, I mean like they want to set up. Okay, they want to set up. Or-
that's way better.
That's the way.
Like stake
that's the way.
space. Just stake space, man. That's always a good answer.
Just jump in, come on.
yeah, okay. I meant like set up and
Yeah, but space and setting up are two different things.
yeah.
They wanna create different angles again, so maybe Genji can go top left, Reaper TP's behind, Ana goes like in the building in main and spams on them, can even hit the anti-nades on the rock maybe.
Not the plan.
They have a,
This is actual
I-
Overwatch League. This is
I don't-
extremely
I don't
9-hit.
really remember. I need to say I don't really remember the first attack.
You
Well,
don't remember the best part?
No, I don't first. I'm thinking, couldn't Reaper get a lot of value on point?
Can we just focus on what's actually happening and not
Yeah.
randomly go off on what happens in the game? Thank you. So Raphael said they put Diana here in this window, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They're gonna set up. Where are they gonna set up?
Top left.
Ollie?
Over here?
I mean that's a bit high, but if they can, that's a nice
Over here.
position, I guess.
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would they go over here? Like, what is the purpose of going here? What are they trying to achieve if they go here?
You can.
Getting
You're
future.
prepared to dive whatever you need to. Like you have space. You're not under a lot of pressure because they're just brawl.
But what are you going to do afterwards? What does this position give us to do something?
Apply pressure to point.
You want to play point pressure against the Reaper May, Ryan Diva, or Ryan Diva, no, Ryan Orisa?
Okay.
This position lets you
Look
force a
at the
rotation.
heroes gladiators are playing. Have rotation, that's it.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe they could go on the ledge and D.Va forces point. That forces gladiators to rotate, turn the back against the Ana. The Ana can anti-net them and they can soft engage when they drop from the ledge on them.
No,
They not?
that is too low. This is Overwatch League.
Pepe.
They are not that stupid. They will not allow such a play to happen. They will just send, most likely, Birdwing or something will go point and it's over for D.Va.
It's not Valiant.
Yeah, it's not
Having
Valiant.
on the,
It's not
having
Valiant.
Dina on the high ground allows her to have thrusters in omnidirectional areas, so she can take a lot more space than just being at choke or in the window.
Anyway,
So she can thruster anywhere.
good enough things. Either way, they're gonna do something interesting because this is Overwatch League.
Going to face just POV.
No.
Unlucky.
So Haxa's also scouting because he just wants to like see if he can get ult charged. Lucio gets into high position. Reaper gets in position. For now, Ryuan doesn't show himself yet. It's very important. And they're going over here. So you weren't wrong by saying this. They could go here, Holly.
Okay.
Where did Winston
But
jump?
you can go through. But why would this be a good position to be in against such a comp?
Because Genji can spam down on them and they can't really do anything about you.
There's no way to reach there with any of their heroes.
There you go. Well, one can. But that would be stupid. What?
Would force a crossfire angle between the team. You'd have half your team set up on the high ground, which makes Larissa and Ryan have to watch two different angles at the same time.
So Gladys had to make a rotation here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything to add?
Like that opens the nade again, but
Yep.
I don't think they will do it. Oh, will they? Okay.
No, they won't. They're not
It
that
allows
stupid.
space for
But it's
rotation.
there.
There was an option, but Gladiator is a bit more 5-head than that. So this position is taken. Of course, like you already said previously, we wanted to repeat the teleport somewhere. It's gonna happen. Yuron gets in position. And now all the positions are set. Everyone is in position, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Rotation happens. And they're going up here. What are they gonna do? Gladiator is over here. Reaper is over here. Fisher is scouting that. They're over here. What are they gonna do?
Well, they forced a rotation, so they can
Yeah?
now look for opportunities to try and dive someone that gets caught out of position.
Who would you dive?
When
There's nobody to dive.
You...
Why are they playing Reaper? Titans is playing Reaper.
okay, so
I do
they
not know what they're playing Reaper to be fair.
I will play Reaper here 100%.
But
They could
I think
Tracer does the same job though.
No, not what they want to do. So, what are they gonna do? You know the positions?
Can I say with the Reaper?
No,
What
because
does
you
he
know.
want to do?
You already know.
Okay.
Why do you want to show off?
Around.
I could think maybe they like when gladiators rotate to the upper stair thingy, right side of point, the Titan's just gonna speed onto the ledge above them. Then Ryujeon can can anti from main, like on the wall above them.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to so it forces lamp because the supports are anti, then they don't want it because D.Va and Winston can just tackle them from above. And then they're gonna focus lamp, and then suddenly there's a Reaper in the backline because he walked through right side house, and then they just drop and fuck them.
Okay, anything to add from anyone?
I kind of want to see Reaper 1v1.
Well, I think the best place to put the Reaper would be like from main. You can TP to that top right high ground, and then you can drop down whenever you want.
Okay, so you want the Reaper to show himself, reveal himself, take damage, get poke?
You just flank inside right side.
Morpho has already said what Reaper should do, and that's exactly what I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I'm not gonna try. That Reaper is gonna do.
So Minsu.
Soul Minsu, is that it?
Yeah.
Korean names.
Oh, fuck it, Simonsu.
Seaman is what I
Also,
wanted
doesn't
us
know
to first.
Korean.
No.
So basically, it's a very wide pincer, if I had to think about
Yeah,
it, the
it
way
is.
it's set up.
It's an extremely wide pincer. Titans doesn't make a mistake here, which is unfortunate, but they will still win the fight.
So
'Cause in
what
the
is the
end-
purpose? I think Harley, myself, Raf. The purpose of the Reaper, right? His burst damage is shotguns. His damage is to either force out tanks or, because it's an Overwatch League, one clip someone in the head. So you're looking for fast burst damage. Why do you say he's more important than the other heroes here? Because he's
Because
got
when
escape of a wraith. He's got a TP for situational setup.
I can.
and
That's
yeah,
something I'm asking.
Self-sustain with lifesteal.
Are you asking me or?
I'm asking in general. So if
Okay.
you want to,
I know the answer, so-
obviously it helps everyone else
Yeah.
to think as well.
I'm just wondering. Reaper can kind of soft dive also.
Yeah.
and because they probably thought about them having a lot of tanks, because yes, they and maybe they speculated about them having BAP and no like big sustain heals with Moira. They just can run over the tanks when they don't have lamp, because the Reaper just collapsed the
He can't get one shot by
They-
a
they-
Mei.
No, but they cannot
you
one
can
over
escape
tanks.
from-
I'm gonna be right back.
I mean, like he's better than for example Sombra or Tracer, because Sombra and Tracer doesn't deal a lot of damage, and when Orisa, for example, has no gold and they don't have lamp and they don't have amp, they just can triple click on her and she's dead when she's get touched by someone a little bit.
Anything to add from
Pretty
anyone?
sure I'm-
Gabas, you're not
Yeah.
very good at this game. It's okay.
Middle finger.
I can relate.
Actually true. Anyway, the purpose, kind of what Orth already said, it's they have double shield. Tracer will just get deleted by this. That needs to be clear. Sombra will most likely not get any angles because double shield will just cover the Sombra hack, so Sombra will basically be sitting there doing nothing. Whereas
So
a
if
Reaper,
they played a Devo Ryan, it would have not been the setup. You would have then obviously played a different hero. But because it's double shield specifically, the Reaper has the value.
and on this map like this, yes,
Okay.
it's just well, it's better to show it than tell it. Gladius' mistake here is rotating. Because they could have just hold position, but for whatever reason they...
Because I think tanks get more value from dropping down than they do.
Yeah, they don't need to use cooldowns.
Yeah. And
That
they
is-
can't actually even pressure them when they're there.
Yeah, so... But they do deny this flank, because Seonzi was gonna go for it. And Ana has nice sweet over here. Good angle on the tanks and everything. And well, Lucio's being Lucio.
Fucking Lucius.
Yeah, man. They're Lucio as well. Just classic Lucios. So this angle is taken. Bergering tries to poke, but he's not a fucking sniper. He needs to understand that. And this is the problem, as you saw. All they have to do is just W. They don't need to use anything to drop down. And whatever the fuck that wall was. Again, this is pure poke, pure soft.
And they just get cooldowns, so they can get out.
Yeah,
Okay,
they just Fisher fed his brains out, but they do get opportunities and they go for it. Lamp goes out, and then Somansu finally
And
comes in.
Reaper, yeah.
Yeah, it took a bit of time, but yeah, that's the problem. Like the DPS need to set up before they do stuff like this. Fisher was way too impatient here. That needs to be clear. Something we suck at as well. But don't
Why
worry.
did Simonsu come?
On high ground he went.
Front holding.
He
Okay.
came in here and then he went just
What
up.
is- wait,
Okay,
what is Virgin doing there?
Birdring followed up on the Winston's
Yeah.
jump. I
Ah,
think he
Bergering
TP'd
punished
across.
Winston. And Anna's position is horrible, but whatever.
She could have just stayed main, what?
No, because Reaper. So this rotation is fine, because most likely what Ryong wants to do is just sit up here and then be like this angle, right? It's a pretty good angle for nades and everything. Nobody can really punish you. But the problem is that right now they don't have a main healer.
Oh yeah.
So it's not a sustained fight. Okay.
No. And Fisher has already fed his brains out because he was impatient, so...
And then they basically hard committed into the fight.
No, not really. It's just more like Fisher made the mistake and everyone else is like, oh well, guess we're going.
We're a team.
Yeah. If you do it with the team.
Apes together strong.
If they actually talk to each other. Something you guys don't do.
Bro, Slime is vibing.
Slime is feeding.
Yep.
You didn't keep his distance on the. He was hugging around.
Either way, it's a reset. The nade does finally come in though, but Yurong,
Where did he drop?
he never went up. He just went in here because he needed to heal, and he started going this angle, and then he just decided, okay, what do I do? Fisher has already fed his brains out. Janu is doing the exact same, and yeah.
Johnny doesn't seem like he had a good day.
That is fight over. So it was very winnable, just for whatever reason, because the rotation Gladius made rewarded Titan's play, because all they had to do was go up here, which is something we have to identify as well. Like if they just allow us to drop down without using any abilities, that's huge. But yeah, Fisher just massively messed up there. He still had his shift, don't forget that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he decided to go over here.
Yeah, why did he even jump for the mega instead of top where Anna could have healed him and they couldn't have poked him?
I don't know. Get Fisher's phone number and ask him. That's what I want to know as well.
Wasn't there even that meme when he left Spitfire to Gladiators with the call?
Yeah. Anyway. So that is dive rewarded, rotations rewarded, but not waiting, not being patient with the setup cost Titan way too much here. And that needs to be clear because we suck at this as well.
Okay.
Nothing but silence.
Yeah.
Gas,
yeah.
shot caller, Felix.
Yeah.
The two of you determine the tempo, so I think it's highly important. Because you would have been Fisher.
Yeah. So you have 6 sets of communication, followed by what does our comp do? How do we force rotations? How do we use our heroes? And then the only problem the Titans made was going in before actually making sure our DPS is ready, and that was Suminsu in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. Anyway, they're still going for it, because why not?
Wait, is Monkey already back?
Yeah, Fisher died and then managed to get back. But now it's only Titans won. How did Titans win? You can tell me that.
I wrote up, I did not see it, to be fair.
I think Gladiators got kind of split on their point rotation.
Yeah. And what do
Because
you do when they
the-
split?
Because the stag, you dive them because they had staggers like Titans getting point pressures, so the Gladiators were forced to rotate on the point, and then Fisher was back and they basically dived into them because they were down people also.
Yep.
They had a closer spawn and Gladiators didn't have Shas in time. So Gladiators really didn't have any healing for the next fight.
They just decided to fuck up by chasing dive. You don't chase after dive with such a slow comp. It's stupid. You don't do that. Anyway, they win the fight because apparently Gladiator is not that good as well.
Gladiators and Valiant level.
Shaz does get back. Now all they have to do is regroup and go in. So, summarize, Mr. Gas.
Yes.
Summarize everything that's been discussed so far. It's been an hour.
First thing that we actually need to do is think about the okay. Well, scouting is first, and I think that's the problem here.
Yeah.
After scouting, we know what they play. Okay, let's expect they play now brawl. We want to set up, get our positions. Actually, get target. Actually before that, get target.
They don't
so
have
we
a
know.
target.
Yeah, but against the comp, we don't really have a target, so it's just set up for the enemy team.
Mm-hmm.
After we set up for enemy team, we make sure everybody is set up. After that, with our comp, we will try to soft engage, try to position ourselves so that we can. Wait, something's missing. Set up.
You're missing something.
Force rotations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Force rotation.
No, but I think is that rotation of enemies or rotation of like our
Them.
rotation?
You are trying to make them.
Because even more so when we have a ball, we want to force rotations.
Yeah.
That's the
But
advantage.
isn't that? I thought that was after the soft engage. Yeah. Okay. Oh no. Oh, wait. I'm dumb.
Wait, what? Okay.
No, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Wait, what is that under rotations? Like under setup, the
Soft engage.
no the blue behind rotation.
Oh, that's question mark.
That's question marks.
Oh.
Pulling gasping Papega, basically. He was being rude.
Sorry.
I was calling out your shot caller for not including this.
For not understanding the setup.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Mhm.
These are your steps so far. What's next?
You got them written down, Gas?
Yes,
Some
I
way to
have.
post for the team? Cool.
I got them too.
Same.
That's good. That's what I want to hear. I want to see you actively involved in this.
I'm
Because
gonna
this
make
is
a
not
big ass
what I know.
paper on top of my monitor to remember all of that. Wait. Okay.
Azure, do you not want to put a sub thing here being like, wait for DPS setup? Because it's so important with this team.
No.
That's
We have
just
tanks.
that's just tanks being paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should happen in the first place.
Cool.
And I will
Basically,
remind them every
yeah.
time, so.
And yeah.
Wait, question mark? Oh, wait. Is that the after or like a separate one?
There's still something missing.
Something is missing.
Is it after the soft engage?
Wait, something. Well, I think what we do after soft engage, the rotation afterwards, because you don't just soft engage.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
I
missing
clicked.
a bit. Yeah, actually planning what we do basically with the soft engage. Path is it?
Is that
Pathing?
where the purple's going after rotation?
Is it like calling it pathing? I don't.
Sure.
Because
That thing isn't wrong.
The thing, like for example, like when we soft engage, we don't win basically by soft engage. We need to have something we want the opponents to do when we soft engage. Yeah,
Win condition.
like our win condition.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're just gonna go in without knowing.
For example, Blizzard World, they soft engaged and their win condition was getting on point afterwards. If they didn't give up high ground, and if they did give up high ground, they had high ground control. Basically, like.
What is that retreat?
Yeah.
Retreat.
Land
retreat
retreat
route.
route.
This is important for the tanks as well.
Yeah.
So after we foster rotations, we plan and make a retreat route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you soft engage. Okay.
Because
Soft engage and
you don't want a repeat of what happened to Fisher there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Best example. They did well on the Blizzard World. They had.
So in that case, it would have just been, I'm gonna drop band when I'm done, I'm just gonna jump up again.
Well.
What
Okay.
danger is there connected to that?
Getting frozen or
You
stuck.
can be put. You can be put. in the
There you
dump,
go.
And then your jump is gone.
So
Frozen isn't a
if
big deal, but this pool is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard with the timing.
But Diva could
Well,
look out of it and eat it.
Yeah.
Nah, it's very hard for Diva to eat in such a short amount of time.
What do you think? What they soft engaged there? What do you think their like plan was afterwards? They got abilities out.
Well, the same what they did against Valiant.
Yeah.
So basically, they had to wait for Sunsu to actually show up, which would have been nice, but that they didn't. They needed point pressure to even more force a rotation. They needed abilities in, like for example, the Ana was not set up. That needs to be very clear.
Yeah.
And all of these just connected to cause a problem for Titan's initial engage.
But it's kind of fun, like not hard, but it's kind of on burst the dive with the Reaper if the Reaper sets
It
up.
is. That's why you
Like
need the
that.
Reaper.
Yeah.
And
Because
Genji
it's not-
only there for
It's
another
not so,
bit.
because on Hanamura you can't really force point as well as in, for example, Blizzard.
You can't again, especially against Brawl.
You can only force because it's easy to rotate there.
Yeah, it's super easy.
So, Azure, with Gladiators being the comp that they were with the double barrier, May, Reaper, them rotating by the mini, so after they hold the right, why wouldn't they have rotated to point and hold on point?
Because you can still jump.
Because they don't need to.
No.
That's the first thing. They don't need to.
Okay, but I'm saying the positioning that they were in was very weird. Now I'm saying if they had to rotate to point with the double barrier that they had and you versing the comp that they have, yeah, knowing that their Reaper has to come in close, would that not enable the Reinhardt as well as their own May Reaper with the wall and rotations to block the rotations because Dive has to create pressure by putting it on point at the moment?
Okay, let me draw a different scenario. You set up here.
Yeah.
They are on this. Where is the Ana?
Still on the right room, top right.
Ana was over here. What stops gladiators from going? Oh, that's an Ana.
It's some free real estate.
And they can just send Birdring basically point.
She
Press.
dropped only when they started rotating.
Yep.
Because I'm wanting to understand their own win condition as well, because as a shot caller, you need to understand what they would want to react to you as well to capitalize on that rotation.
So, what is Gladiator's grand scheme here? Because they are planning something, obviously. They run out with the Scum. Reinhardt held this for quite some time. They did initially hold this area, but they decided to give it up and then move over here so that they can retreat here in the health pack, and if necessary, they could hold point pressure.
They know probably that Titans want to run dive, so they want to force them into areas where Brawl is better than dive.
Yeah.
That too.
Because like the dive can't really push inside there. And when they go for a point, the whole Brawl thing, it just runs on them, freezes them, and claps them.
Why wouldn't the Orisa hold them off of the high ground?
Because
Because they
just
used
jump up
that. They
again.
used that walkway. Yeah, but then they've used abilities, which means they
Because-
could do their soft engage.
Because when they soft engage, she can pull them together, and then May
they're fucked.
freeze goes through them, and then they get frozen. They all
Yeah.
get frozen.
That
Because
play
I
would
think
just buy time.
If they played on that left side, basically, if let's say Diva Monkey got pulled, the only place where Diva Monkey got pulled, they still get the value of a soft engage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll just buy time.
Yeah, it would
'Cause
buy
I'm
like
thinking-
1 second.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of
like
the
nothing
shot
more.
game that I'm thinking of Oasis with that high ground with the T, Azure,
Yeah.
and how they abuse the holds off of the high ground. So,
But
I'm
that's
trying to
Brawl
understand-
versus Brawl.
That's what was buy, yeah.
There's so much more mobility.
Yeah, then with Dive, you need to respect what their comp is trying to achieve. So you're already hard countering a Dive comp. That needs to be clear.
Mhm.
What Titans wants to do is basically use the burst damage plus the initial dive plus nades to just melt down key targets.
Okay.
So the first one was Shaz. After that, they went for Ryan when Fisher came back. That's why Ryan is right now right here.
Okay.
Still with me so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're running dive, what are you trying to achieve?
Well, they still have their win condition of Nanoblade that they're trying to get.
Yeah, that's win conditions.
force rotations, force cooldowns, so you can engage on
Key targets.
key targets.
The way Titans executed this was bad, but the setups was very, very good. That needs to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because during this entire rotation, they barely took any damage. They were allowed to go here, they were allowed to scout this area, they were allowed to get information on this, they were allowed to get information on this. Yurong was allowed to like make this rotation over here so that he could see here, but not much value.
I got to balcony.
Yeah, and then they initially wanted to dive this area so that someone could get that value from here, but instead he went over here. And well, the biggest issue that came from Titans is not being patient enough.
Yeah, timing.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Gladiator's biggest mistake was splitting, because you don't want to split against dive. That needs to be clear. You stay together and you just wait for chances. They are defending, they don't need to rush. They can take all the time in the world. They're not like in a hurry to go for things. Like sure, this Ana was an opportunity, but that's about it. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you.
Next fight. And of course, you know, slime being slime.
He's just vibing.
He's just chilling, dude.
I have a question.
Go on.
Why are they not going Pharah? Pharmacy.
Double shield, May Reaper.
That doesn't counter Pharah though. She can just spam still.
Yeah, you can spam, but in defensive areas, all they have to do is just set up and just counter the dive. In general, I'm not against playing Pharah here. Like, that is to be clear, I'm perfectly fine running Pharah here against that. This is just...
But to be fair, when they have unbapped, they also don't have the problem of Moira losing.
it's more a synergy. Like, if you run Pharah Mercy here, you kind of throw away the idea of bursting down people with Reaper, because Genji needs to be in there. Whereas Pharah is just gonna spam. So this is more like a brawly type of dive, whereas Pharah is more spammer, and then you have a hybrid and you don't want that. Like I said, I'm still fine with playing Pharah. It's just at this level, you will get punished for playing Pharah here. Because you won't get value with your comp.
But you're gonna make disruption and spam
Yeah.
from cross angles.
Why do you need
They
to do a tank's job?
To give them more space.
Yeah, but they don't care.
So they can do more job.
They already have all the space they want. You are basically doing nothing as Pharah.
You're doing a triple tank setup instead of running as a DPS.
Yeah?
Because what is the
They want
highlight
to-
point is.
They want to burst down people. And not just sit the Pharah up here and be like, well, I have spam. I can just do
I mean,
this.
she can get close. She
Yeah, she
they
can
have
get
nothing
close.
against her.
Baptiste. May can shoot her.
She has mercy. I mean, she can just hide for a second and get healed and poke.
At this level, Maze will kill you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, you've got to understand the accuracy is not what you're versing.
Like, if you want to use 4.2k logic on this, then sure, go Pharah, you will probably win easy. That's not what we're looking at. We're looking at Gladiators for the Titans here.
Yeah.
Their main needs to hit one body shot and just like triple or
And
double
the
shots.
Baptiste accuracy is tracking will be perfect, so
Yeah.
you'll get hard punished.
Shaz's accuracy is really quite something.
Alright.
It's like running a Pharah into a soldier. Think of it like that.
I mean, the soldier isn't scary.
Yeah, it's Zetun, your logic is flawed. Think more at a higher level. Maybe then you
Yeah.
become better.
More strategic than comp.
Of course, Sepp is not scared of.
You
soldier
just
and he
put
constantly
a
runs
clip of
around
of
like
a
a
bird
dog.
in my head.
Ah.
Okay, but guys, this is beside the point. Let us take
Yeah. And they go for this again, because why not?
What's Gladiators
But
doing?
they feed.
They're soul split, like, I don't
Like,
even want
what the fuck is happening?
They really do.
That's why I'm just kind of,
Basically us.
this is so messy. It's just...
Yeah, that was that beat. I remember that one.
Okay. So for some reason they still decide to feed. Because they probably thought they were still playing against Valiant here.
I'm just gonna say fast, Felix.
Yeah.
They beat it because they had
One.
worse space.
Yeah, I remember, no? Like, but I just remember you
So-
complaining about that beat.
Tanks are doing something.
Which tanks? The Titans?
I understand.
Yeah. Who's playing top right there?
Supports.
Ooh.
So setting up dive. Cloud is giving them full space.
You do be.
No, space is giving them space.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
They
also
need
true.
space.
Why are they playing split?
Yeah, I don't get it. Why are they playing split?
Because
In my head at first I was like,
Possibly.
just dive, just get the Rhine, just shield him off, he can get heals, you kill him easily. But then I saw Space has Bongo, so they can
I
actually shoot
mean,
that with.
they can bait the engage, so they see Rhino split.
Oh, they have nano blade. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but still they can just get free
But
picks.
still, they could bait the engage. So when they go on Ryan, they lamp him and then mailed on Ryan, and then they all get frozen, and they did.
Yeah, but I think they die before Mayo
They're
to
playing
get
split for the Nano Blade.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Yes,
they just then
that's a-
they, but to be fair, then they just can try to kinda not use nano blade also this fight.
They could dry fight, yeah.
Yeah, because the supports are so split, they could try to force and dive on the supports, for example.
Yeah, they have Lucius with them. Lucius can just poop tanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also true.
So it's hard to dive up top there.
Anyway,
They just dive in space because actually. Or wait, no, they're not.
Why is he diving space?
Bongo.
Only
Just for the
Fisher is
Bongo?
diving
Diving.
space.
Yeah, it's for the Bongo.
It's just Fisher though.
John
It's
Yeah.
is going on the supports.
Yeah.
Fishes is gonna put a bubble down though.
yeah,
I think I've seen this fight.
possible. It's a very interesting fight. A lot of things are going on here.
Yeah,
So
what is
Diva, Genji, I think, are going on white top.
Just the Latix move, shift.
The Reapers, the
Bro, should you just stay at the fucking choke and
Honors
dive?
there.
Wait, is that Hu Jihong? Is he top?
Jiang in main, yeah.
Slime and Yurong on our main, yeah?
Ah, okay. Ah, okay, that's Reaper. Okay, I thought the Reaper was it would be Anna.
Yeah, I think
Someone who
Slime's
is
there.
left from the screen.
Yeah, he's on that match.
Didn't Slime stay with Anna because of the Reinhardt playing there?
Yeah, not wrong.
Okay, well, and then
So-
Fisher goes for probably Bongo pressure because when he bubbles, the Bongo doesn't reach anybody.
Okay, let's now relate this to how Krypton plays.
Oh, okay. okay.
Okay, so Diva tries to force off the supports from high ground, and Sominsu just waits under, so when they drop, he just can shoot at them, and then they die because they don't have peels. Except for the Ryan, who is charging, but he has
Fuck
no
the Ryan.
charge, and then he's under the bridge, and the supports can't see him, and there's a Reaper, and then he's probably dead.
What are the win conditions here?
Nano Blade.
What does Gladiators have?
Mailed and Bab Window and the Repult.
So they're all
So-
trying to dive something different.
So they wanna deny the window. Yeah, because when Beb is dead, if they would mail the Repult, it wouldn't be worth it because they just could Nano Blade after the Repult or the mailed went out, and they don't have a Beb.
Yeah, anything to add?
What?
Fisher's
Wait,
taking
how do
the
you
long-
kill the BAP?
I could just yell, Ali, that was too
Like-
long for him.
You go on high ground, the Diva goes on high ground, forces the Beb down, and or you to
But he has
force
a
him to-
Lucio, it's gonna boop him.
but forces him to use lamp, and after he use like if he gets booped down, the Reaper fucks him. If he doesn't get booped down, he
No,
uses lamp.
Gianno gonna get booped.
If he doesn't drop down, he's gonna use lamp and window after, to help Space, who gets I don't know the English fucking word for where Fisher is. He's gonna use a window for that, and even if they lose this fight, it's a big win for the Titans because then gladiators don't have any supportals, and they still have Nano Blade.
Okay. You get it now, Holly?
Yeah.
You still awake?
No, he's still trying to
get it.
comprehend all the
I
word
feel
being
like
spoken at
Johnny would.
once.
I don't feel like you would be able to kill Shaz with just
No.
Johnny
No,
going
but
high ground.
You don't wanna even kill Chassis. You
Yeah,
just
he's
wanna
trying to
kill
force.
him.
Yeah, he's trying to force him.
And like
Okay.
even if he doesn't die, he still probably has to use a lamp, and then they have no counter at all against
So
Nano
you're
Blade.
just pressuring out Lamp.
Yeah,
Okay.
at least that's what I think. I'm not the big brain Mr. Azure. He is gonna tell us.
Also, he can't really focus on healing space.
To be fair,
He's up
okay,
there.
I think it's more that because if Zeus is with the bat, he can't really. He doesn't need to use Lamp against the Diva alone. If he can press shift, and Zeus you can.
Yeah,
heal.
I'll also agree with Felix here. Like the Lucio can just peel the Diva off of a high ground, keeping the high ground safe. So I'm trying to understand the play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a Genji, and I think he's gonna dash up with them there. He just
Yeah,
got
then, yeah.
pulled there. Like he was climbing on the side of the house. He just got pulled in the middle. He's eventually gonna go with the Diva.
Okay then. I
Or,
didn't
or
think
wait.
about the
with
Genji.
But has he
Wait,
used his double jump? Because if he has, then I don't think he'll be able to get reach.
if they boop the Diva, then Genji can just go for Blade.
I mean,
Yes.
they forced battle.
If
But
Lucy
why?
uses boop, they can't boop the Blade.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and
that
if
was
they
the
use
point.
window, they don't have to sustain healing. If they use lamp, they don't have anything.
Okay. So the Diva was setting up the Genji the entire time.
Yeah.
Is Genji going high ground or on the Rhine right now?
No, he's going high
High
ground.
ground.
Okay.
Okay.
Cloud
just-
is fucking getting the Reaper, dude.
So Winston.
Yeah, I've definitely seen this fight.
And Winston has taken the whole of Theoris's attention.
No, he just wants that fucking bongo.
Bongo.
Bongo's fuck up fights.
Yeah, bongo is dangerous against people that actually know how to aim.
So it's not dangerous with me, Park.
No.
Against a sniper Reaper.
Spoilers.
With a Sombra that is AFK, a ball that is shooting walls, a Diva that is in a different map.
A Moira that either feeds or feeds.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this?
There's the blades.
There's the blade.
Weapons
There's the nano.
There's the nano.
There's the beat, just for good measure.
Beat was used earlier.
Yeah,
No,
just to
for Titans.
yeah, for Titans the beat was used a while ago.
I think they just wanted to force this fight to be a win.
There you go. It was well observed from Raphael.
What did he say?
Nice, right?
I have to repeat.
Oh no, please.
This whole fight plan that Raph.
Let's just have Raphael repeat the entire plan.
Yeah, no, I.
Raphael.
Can you say it again?
I thought he said something else.
No.
Boost my ego, boys.
Park. That
Nah, it just
Boosted Joey Star's crest.
the only thing that was missing was the fact that Johnny was setting up the Genji.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing that was missing.
It's kind of the most important.
And they pop out the brick. And they pop out the Diva. Because why would you go Diva here?
Objective B.
Because of Reaper also.
Deny Reaper ult.
Contest Ana on the high ground because he's gonna probably
That's better.
set up like on the catwalk.
Oh, why would you even mention a fucking Reaper? Look at these high grounds. You think Orisa's gonna get up there?
Yeah, it's just yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, now that I think about it's just high ground control. It's just high ground control.
And of course, the add-on that comes with the
Deny high
DM.
ground
Like, the
control.
DM is an add-on, obviously, but
Yeah.
let's actually understand the hero here, boys.
Yeah, the boost is kind of important.
And the brick.
This is kind of good.
to
break?
peel and to punish people as they dive in.
Yeah.
And because they don't need to, they don't really need.
You've
to
got your
because
shield
they have-
bash, so you don't need to peel. You capitalize on the brawl pressure because everyone's close range.
Okay. Mr. Gaz, what would you do here?
What would I do here?
As who? Titans or gladiators?
Titans, obviously.
Titans.
What kind of question is that, Gutbuster?
Bro, we're playing ball park.
First thing.
Fuck me.
Gutbuster, can you just mute yourself and like leave the building?
Okay, we scout their positions. We scout that they're playing right high ground. We scout that they have switch of com.
Nice.
F.
Yeah, nice. We have scouted that they have switch com.
Unlucky.
Yeah, of course. You just press tab, you instantly see it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well,
Yep.
it's part of scouting also, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. After we scouted it, we want to know. We want to set up for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably Winston is probably gonna May because he can't set up high ground. I can see Diva is going high ground. I think it's the safest route for Diva because she doesn't take spam then, and can protect the Anna from if they push in. Okay, so they set up. Yeah. What do you?
Yeah, but I'm not asking what they're gonna do. I would ask what you would do.
Oh, what they're gonna do?
No, what are you gonna do? If you're the shot call in the situation, what would you be telling your team? So how Grease and Argon did this is he said to Azure, mute the sound, I'm shot calling what they're doing. And you shot call their movements. So what Azure's asking you to do here is you're Titans, this is your ult economy, this is your position. You know they've changed their heroes and they set up on the top right. As a shot caller, what would you be telling your team to do in this exact situation?
I want to get.
So this is you on Diva, that's Pineapple, etc., etc. What would you do?
I would try to use get icon control with Primo. We can do a soft, kind of a soft. No, well, is it a soft engage when we use Primo there?
Cannot.
Briggy.
Good. Have fun playing Winston.
I would try fight.
Yeah, same. Just jump point, dry fight. Maybe Diva bomb if to
Yeah.
create a swap.
Well, I'm not
But, like,
sure.
nothing
I don't think that would get much value. So it's just trying to get, basically just trying to get high jump control if possible with the soft engage.
But if you go right side top, they're probably gonna use May because
I
you
was gonna
can't-
say, would you not want to put point pressure?
Yeah,
Because then you
jump
can
on
just
point.
jump away from it. Because you can just get out.
I would just speed on to point, to be fair.
You don't have to take the fight on
Yeah.
point, you just want them off of the high ground to force their rotation. And then while they're rotating, capitalize on their rotation.
Because you
So,
can't jump on high ground.
just got in there. What did I make you write down like a few minutes ago on first point?
Scouting setup, force rotation, soft
rotation,
engage,
mark.
identify win condition, and plan retreat.
So in the span of 5 minutes, you've forgotten what have you been taught?
Everything.
I just know what's going to happen.
I'm just.
It doesn't make a sense. You're still not.
Uh, Zep-
I'm just saying. I don't really see. Does the Winston get the point pressure then?
I have a question too.
Winston, point pressure, yeah, why not? You have shift.
Yeah.
Do they have long range heroes besides May?
Break.
No.
The brick will have to come down.
Well, Diva can pressure the Winston.
Yeah, but it's not enough for you to be like, oh my god, I'm feeding my brains out.
Okay.
Also, you've got Anna sustain, so you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Why would
And to be and if the Winston can force even 2 people off the high ground, it starts getting worth it to soft engage there.
Yep.
Because the Honor would be healing the Winston, which
Well,
means the
it's a-
Diva won't be able
yeah.
to deal with it on her own, which means someone else would have to drop and they can't get back to the high ground as easy, which forces the rotation for the team, which allows you to gain high pressure setup and then soft
And then-
engage.
Yeah, Winston gets even more value because if he would just be staying on the bottom there, he would be AFK for a while.
okay?
Raphael's
why would
question?
Yeah, why would it be worth to like waste time by forcing point when they're gonna win anyway? So just try to go top right, force out the
Because they're
mail.
Overwatch League
Like,
players.
Because you don't need to
Boy, you expect them to
Overwatch.
lose?
yes, against mailed and repuled.
When you're playing dive?
Yes,
Okay.
Is Mayo the worst night?
because like, of course, they can pressure point, but like if I were gladiators, I would drop space, I would drop bird ring.
Yeah,
I
and
would
then we
have-
haven't. There's 4 people.
I would have Jaru stay on top. Then the Titan's gonna go back because they can't really sustain against space and birding on point. And when they jump back, Jaru just gonna yeet his mailed into them, and then they're dead.
soft engage.
You were saying?
You didn't have to just walk to points. It was create the
Yeah.
space on the high ground and then drop.
okay.
And then while your shift is resetting, you
Yeah.
can then use it to get out.
Because you can see what Fisher is doing now.
Yeah, but like they still
And
No.
space is in a horrible position.
wasted rebuild.
Nah, Reaper doesn't get value in Overwatch League.
Reaper,
Okay.
this comp doesn't really use Reaper for the Reaper.
No.
Reaper.
Reaper is played for the Reaper, not for result. Like, it will get value when they don't have a diva, but when they have a diva, like, Titans knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Now they
position-wise...
got a soft engage in, they got the abilities out, and they got point pressure now. They, Janu is...
How
Shattered.
about John?
There's a solo shatter from Mr. Cloudy here.
Cloudy.
That's,
Classical.
that's kind of worth it for Titans.
It is, yeah.
Super.
Now they
Yes,
can't
I don't-
eat Mailed or Birdwing's ult.
Yeah.
And you have this position. So. There's your call.
What?
There is your call.
Soft engage in, retreat through this, dropping back to point.
Well, Arana's under pressure, but let's get peeled.
Yeah. I get peeled.
So CS
I thought about
So much
Yes,
happening. Oh my
because
god.
I'm still saying, I think even if I understand, okay, now I see the Winston getting more worth, but I think the value of Winston here is to get people actually off the high ground also.
Nope.
He juggled
Just to get
the
killed.
peel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What he wanted, point pressure together with so-and-so, that's why so-and-so went down here, and then when Fisher went for the jump, they teleported here, get some pressure in, try to force some things, of course, so-and-so used most likely his ult to try and see a response, because if they pop Mailed, for whatever reason, that would have been worth.
W.
Yeah, but of course this Overwatch League is not gonna happen. But it could have been worth, but either way, that was not gonna get much value. So he gets stunned by Big Goose, but in the meantime, they still get a lot of pressure on Big Goose, and they drop down. Well, not they, just Fisher drops down, point pressure a little bit. And
Where
I
was
mean,
him? Sorry.
I'm gonna server mute you. Let's see in the middle of a sentence, come on.
It's like gas.
In the meanwhile, Cloudy is like going for this pressure because getting rid of Janu is such a big play here due to our ult economy. And of course, Yurong needed to rotate here because what Ralph already said means heals. And of course, Lucio peels. And so rejoined here to deal with Diva. Solo Shatter, pump comes out, it's all fine. But Big Goose dying is pretty big. This allows for much more dive potential. And this does mean that Cloudy is going to get a lot of pressure. Birdwing gets off his ult because, well, we don't have our diva anymore. But big peel from Slime. Fisher still trying to clean up, but Fisher doesn't respect Mei at all for some reason. Because, I don't know, Fisher thinks. So Mr. Raphael said this fight was lost, right?
Yes.
Nice.
That's the thing, I don't really like thinking about, because I feel like Dive has the advantage of ults not being that good against them.
Yeah, there it finally is. It takes a while,
Even more,
but
because even more so against the Brawl's ults like Mayu doesn't affect Dive that much. Because you have mobility to get out of it.
Look at Raf. There's in the deep end.
Raph.
We're here to learn, Pepper
Yeah.
Hands.
yeah, it's here to learn. Like his suggestion wasn't wrong.
No, I know.
That's why I'm now showing the
Even
fight.
that worked.
I'm now showing the fight just to see the response and reaction, and then I'll break it down again. Like take it all in. Watch the entire fight. This happened, but because in the end, it's the Overwatch League with 2CP. It's extremely difficult to actually cap.
But they're farming ults now for the nano play.
Yeah,
I think that's their goal here.
obviously. They 100% their plan is
Yes.
ult.
Because you can see them playing
Fisher
just
can
alone.
soft engage again from top.
And also, Birdring has to switch heroes due to the point pressure. They pulled out the Tracer. Tracer not very good
Okay.
against this setup. Fisher still like losing a lot of high ground control just to make sure that he can get out. And so make sure that always he follows up with Fisher. And once again, they just kill the brick. Slime is still peeling. As you know, Lucio. Fisher does get frozen, but DM on him and problem solved.
Morano Fade. Oh,
Yeah. Johnny goes for it. Point pressure is still very much alive. What is very important to realize here is that at all times they make sure that there are more people from Titans on the point than Gladiators.
to delay respawns, right?
Yeah, there you go.
It's
But you
30
can get
seconds,
6
am
people
I
high
right? So,
ground.
Yeah, it increases
yeah.
as long as you have more people. So in this moment, Birdring is a point and we have 2 people on point. Axel gets off the point, Rion gets on the point. It's pure management of who gets a point. Nobody in point, Haxel goes point, Slime peels. There you go.
I'm hyped for the Hacksaw Blade.
Hands off.
You're not looking at this world, okay?
Yeah, this is what I want.
It's a nano blade.
Yeah, you don't need to see it.
Against the recon test.
The nano blade was insane.
So there you go.
Watch at the force point.
So there you go. Even though normally we think, this fight shouldn't be winnable due to ults and such. What conditions are necessary for Dive to still turn this into a W?
Proper force rotations, force point, be able to survive, and
No, there's something very important that you're missing here.
Proper setup.
No.
Plan.
Target focus.
targets.
There is a certain hero that is continuously getting fucked by a certain main tank and a certain DPS.
Brick.
They do not want
Bigus.
Brick. They want the Brick dead at all times, and they're making sure to use all of their abilities and management in the right ways to get this off. Because even in the second fight, he still jumped here. Somasu joined him, and Janu kind of went in as well, just to kill the Brick once again.
They do this because the brick is the only like real big counter to them, right?
Yeah, it's too much of a problem. If Brick stays alive, especially with Inspire and the rally that can come up, it will fuck Dive completely over.
Yeah.
So that is the first thing, identifying
How
a
do
key
you
target.
How do you focus a brick with ball, trace, or sombra?
You don't, because I'm not going to make you play that against that.
Okay.
If I see you play ball against Brick Reaper May, I might as well just fucking kick you out of the team right now.
I'm fine.
That is fucking stupid.
Thank God.
Because we're basically one tricking it.
Yeah,
I'm asking.
but OD is over.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
fine.
OD ended.
Experimental phase, yeah.
Yeah,
Because always when you played against the brick, we are fucked. Like, we are hard fucked.
yeah.
True.
But the really important part here is the synergy between Sumitsu and Fisher.
Yeah.
That is the very, very first important part. The second part is the synergy between Slime and Huron.
Jano Axel.
And Haxel is just Haxel.
And
But
Janu-
it was coordinated with Jano and Fisher a lot.
Janu is kind of, he just is a Diva player. He will manage.
Diva things.
Yeah, he's doing Diva thing. Like, Diva has so many different jobs.
But the whole time Axel was diving with Fisher.
When
Haxel was following up on the space that was created. He was doing
Yeah.
his own thing. He saw an opportunity. He capitalized. He kept doing his own thing. He never had a dedicated
Nope.
like rollout. He just looked for
So-
space.
So when they
That's true,
went,
but-
talk. Okay, they're not. So when the Winston Reaper goes for the brick, does it work like the Winston forces out the stun from Bigus because he can survive it, and then the Reaper just shoots her 2 or 3 times and then she's dead?
No, because what happened?
Hmm.
We didn't get to
Literally,
see
what
the-
happened?
I didn't know. We just
Um,
drop on them and then
Fisher dove in, and
Yeah.
Somasu joined him, and Somasu popped out a Dap Blossom.
No, I mean on bottom it for
Oh, bottom.
Second fights with the break.
Yeah,
second
where
fight.
Winston was on the high ground. Yeah.
because I thought that the Winston dropped down and then got stunned and then they
Yep.
just okay, good.
Important to notice is that the Mei was there as well, so it was very important that in this specific particular scenario that Janu followed up,
Yeah, and DM'd.
To
Yeah.
create the space from the May. Okay.
because without Janu this wouldn't have worked.
Okay.
Like the first fight was completely possible without Janu just because of ability management, the HP box that Fisher has, plus the Depth Blossom. Like they were gonna try and force some things, didn't work because Clarity is not that stupid. But the second fight is really a brawly type. The hard focus, the brick. They want the Mei out of their face because Mei froze Fisher in that scenario, and Somaso needs to make sure that he stays in the right position and uses his rate accordingly. So it's a lot of ability management, it's a lot of target priority, and it's a lot of hitting your shots.
Okay.
And Slime and Ryu Hong were basically together almost the entire time until the end of the game. Not even once did they split.
Best friends.
Yeah, that needs to be clear. Like there is just massive peeling going on,
Every time you could see slime peeling.
Yeah,
And
it was true.
that is why I've made you mostly play Moira, because
Because I can no one peeling for me.
Yeah.
Peel off.
you're dead.
Me on the ball coming into.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and also your tanks didn't play. Yeah,
ball is
Yeah.
not a really big good
It's
peel.
Diva and Lucio synergy to save your honor. Other
Yeah.
than that, else that should be helping her.
this was more Korean meta what you were playing.
Everyone for themselves.
Yeah. So, any questions about this? Because time-wise, pretty much discuss
So
everything.
anyone who needs to go, I think, is Zap.
Yeah.
I think Felix could squeeze out.
Yeah, I
sometime.
can stay, but like not too long. If
You don't.
15 minutes.
You shouldn't
Yeah, I can.
pour too much info in one VOD. I'm pretty sure everything is covered, like understanding dive, understanding setups, respecting each other, and also like having the synergy between key heroes who need to peel for each other, work together. In this case, it was Winston, Reaper, and Lucio, Ana. Diva was just Diva.
So doing everything basically. Because
Yeah.
As Ana, you always wanna try to get like a position where you can heal your teammates plus get anti-nades into the brawl so you can force them to use cooldowns / rotations, right?
Yeah. Even in Brawl versus Brawl, that's the exact same thing.
Only question,
Okay.
for example, in this comp,
Yeah.
as a diva, how much do you need to peel for the Ana?
Mostly Lucio. It's mostly the
Yeah,
Lucio.
I'm saying because I feel like I would be losing value by trying-
Depends. Like what happens is these people are talking together.
Yeah.
They're not playing ranked. They're a team. They play together. If certain things are called out, you as a diva player will instantly identify. Okay, so I need to go to my Ana now. My Winston is going aggressive. They're all stacked there. I need to go there. That is pure awareness and pure information what your team is giving you.
Which means our white noise makes your decision making really hot as Diva.
Yeah. Also, ult tracking is extremely important, as you can see.
Did you talk to Reaper ult, but that
They
the
did.
gladiators.
They did.
Diva went on the Ana. She could. I think she should have
Yeah,
stayed
that's
with,
the brick.
with the team for the Reaper.
Yeah, I had a
They
question.
break
It's
Moira.
I already look off. I don't want you to go a long way. Do they have an like singular shot caller in Overwatch League teams? I have a feeling like they don't have an actual like complete shot.
Yeah, that's what I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know. I don't know.
There are shot callers, yes.
Yes.
It's just once you play the game so much, the amount of communication you need
Gets
diminishes.
less.
Yeah. Like you build synergy with these teammates, you understand their playstyle, you kind of know what they're doing. Like for example, I'm pretty sure Fisher and Somensu never actually communicated these plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just knew what they're gonna do and then
Yeah. But you guys are nowhere near that level.
Mm-hmm.
Argon is actually
You wanna
getting
give
close to
plug?
that.
Do you want to give your logic to why you
wait. Has God been leaking my questions?
No.
Yes.
No, I haven't leaked it, but I have spoken about similar scenarios to get an understanding if I'm right or wrong when I tell you you're wrong, to make sure that I've got the correct
But that's it. That's the thing. I don't know. That was a question I had, and you tried to turn it into an argument.
Yeah.
I'm saying no. I'm saying you always try to turn questions into arguments to try to
With
understand.
with Gutbuster, you just have to understand. So you just tell him to shut the fuck up, and you move on.
Yeah,
It's not. I guess I as I said on the thingy, I'm not saying I am right. I'm just asking. I have a feeling like because they know each other so well, they don't need as much information to be reliable.
Yeah.
But the reason you're asking that question is the same thing you asked me. Well, the same thing we were talking about. We weren't having an argument. You over-exaggerating the situation. Just to put it clearly, it was more the debate that Gas said there was no need for.
Yeah, got you.
Okay, we don't have much. Can we continue?
Yeah.
We don't have to continue. We're done. We're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just wrapping up.
So the reason why Gas asked that is he says that he doesn't feel like he needs to shot call as hard because it's already done by the team's thing. That was your talk. That was just.
No, I said it clearly that we are not at that level. I said that if we were at that level, I feel like there would be much less shot calling needed, and shot callers' importance wouldn't be as big. That was the thing. I said it very clearly that we couldn't do that.
Then I misinterpreted your conversation that side.
Yeah, I can say I said very clear like 3 times. I don't think we can do this because I know we can.
Bad.
Yeah. Well.
Doesn't speak English.
What is happening?
Nothing.
Got
It's
rage.
just bullying me more.
Yeah.
Got my point is like if I thought that way, I would be saying it pretty clearly what I wanted different. I think this is like it's not like I think we're doing something wrong.
No, fair enough. Then I must have interpreted it slightly differently.
Anyway,
you also.
Anyway, I don't really care about two lovers having a quarrel. It's really not my problem. You guys can do your thing in your own time. To wrap things up, do you understand how we're gonna move forward with Dive?
Yes.
You understand what I ask of each of you?
Yes.
Understanding your own role, understanding comps, understanding map geometry, understanding not taking 5,000 damage before you get somewhere, Mr. Gas.
In terms of my role, none of the heroes that we saw today are heroes that I normally play. Do I just focus on doing the same job with Tracer, or do I focus on...
It kind of depends on what we're gonna see next week.
Okay.
So I will still make some decisions on base what you're gonna play, but it's kind of rough to understand how other teams will respond with the information they've gotten from Overwatch League.
Yeah. To be fair, it's gonna be pretty fun to see how people react.
Yeah.
And
from there on, you will be playing shit like I made you play on Saturday.
The top sim classica.
Yo, that shit was OP. You guys are just fucking stupid.
I think we're just fucking dumb. Yeah,
yeah you are.
I still don't see the value.
Playing the Anubis while we're in Umbani.
It's Numbani first point, a bit of high ground, you just force high ground, you put a turret on the fucking high ground.
Farah just spams, boom, done.
Yeah.
Game over.
Zeptuno, you need to piss off with your Farah because it's fucking dog shit. I don't understand. You keep mentioning it.
You told me my Farah got better.
It got better, but you were basically a fucking Junkrat until then.